Morning folks, finally getting around to doing it. I've been promising I'll do it for weeks and I never get around to doing it. I'm going to review the Duke, The Life and Lives of Tommy Morrison by Carlos Acevedo. The reason I was so desperate to read this book, because growing up I was a massive Tommy Morrison fan. He was a guilty pleasure of mine. I saw Rocky V when I was a kid, when it first came out, and I loved that movie. And I know as an adult I've realised that it's actually a pile of shite, but at the time, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. But I was 7 at the time, so you've got to forgive me for that. I did enjoy this book. It's very well researched. It was quite short though, so if you haven't got a very big attention span, it's only 202 pages. So, and it sort of basically condenses his whole career into that. There's no pictures though in there, which I was a bit disappointed by, because I like, if I'm reading an autobiography or a biography, I like to have photographs in it from their career, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. There was some stuff I didn't know about Tommy Morrison. I mean, I know Tommy wasn't the greatest fighter. He'd never be considered the greatest heavyweight of all time, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he was a guilty pleasure of mine. I quite often go back and watch his fights against Lennox Lewis, even the ones he lost. You know, he was quite exciting. Lennox Lewis obviously dominated the hell out of him in his last big fight. His fight with George Foreman, probably the best win of his career. And of course his big fight with Donovan Razor Ruddock, which is an absolute classic. If you've never seen it, just go back and watch it. It's fantastic. And obviously the sickening knockout when he got taken out by Ray Mercer, and that was a fight he was actually winning, in my opinion. You know, you watch it back, he was actually doing very, very well in that fight, but then he just got taken apart by a KO artist. One thing I learned about Tommy Morrison I didn't know was that, you know, obviously they hung that terrible the Great White Hope label on him, which I've never liked. Any racial thing in boxing, because, you know, boxing it's a sport. Race shouldn't come into it, and unfortunately it does. But I actually found out he's actually part Native American, and he was very upset about being called a White Hope, because, you know, why not call him the Native American Hope? So I thought that was quite interesting. Obviously, yeah, a lot of the book's dominated by his shenanigans out of the ring, his sex addiction, his obviously catching HIV, which ended his career as a big-time boxer. And then he actually became a bit of a weird conspiracy theorist and denied that he actually had HIV for a while. You'll have to excuse that noise, it's raining outside. So, and I've got a dishwasher going behind me as well, so I do apologise for the noise. Yeah, obviously it's dominated a lot by his brushes with the law. He wasn't a very nice human being by all accounts. Yeah, he was a bit of a prick, but yeah, we kind of know that. But it's just a bit of a tragic end to a guy who was very entertaining. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend it. I'm not going to give too much away. But yeah, if you know about Tommy Morrison, there's not going to be anything new really in it. But yeah, some of the weird conspiracy theories I found quite entertaining. Tragic, but quite entertaining. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one.